The cabin was my haven, a cedar-walled refuge I'd crafted with my own hands in the Blue Ridge Mountains. It wasn't grand, just a single bedroom, a wood stove, and a solar panel system I'd wired myself to keep the lights flickering. Every summer, I'd escape my tech job in Raleigh, fleeing the city's clamor for the silence of the pines. No internet, no neighbors, just me and the whispering forest. But last July, work chained me to my desk, and the cabin sat untouched. Or so I believed. Years ago, I'd installed a solar monitoring app, a geeky habit to track power usage from afar. One evening, it pinged me. 3.2 kilowatt hours drawn overnight. Strange, since the cabin was locked tight, and I hadn't visited in months. I dug into the logs. Lights, fridge, even the electric kettle. Someone was living in my sanctuary. My first thought was a squatter, maybe a hiker who'd jimmied the lock. I called the local sheriff, Hank, a weathered man who'd known my family for decades. He promised to investigate. An hour later, his voice crackled through the phone, taut with disbelief. "You're not gonna believe this, Ethan. Your cabin's listed online for rent. Some woman named Lisa's charging $150 a night. Got a couple staying there now, city types from Charlotte." My blood surged. Lisa? I didn't know any Lisa. I pulled up the listing on my phone, and there it was, me cabin, captured in grainy photos but unmistakably mine, down to the warped porch railing I'd never fixed. The ad touted rustic charm and off-grid serenity. Reviews called it cozy but eccentric. Eccentric? That was my life's labor, peddled by a stranger. I tore out of Raleigh the next morning, for hours of white-knuckled fury. When I arrived, Hank's patrol car sat beside a gleaming SUV that didn't belong. A young couple, tanned, bewildered, clutching duffel bags, stood on the porch. And there was Lisa, mid-30s, with a fake tan and a designer backpack, squabbling with Hank like she owned the deed. "This is a misunderstanding," she snapped, her voice like a blade. "I have a lease." "Lease?" I roared, slamming my truck door. "This is my cabin. Who the hell are you?" Lisa whirled to face me, unruffled. "Ethan, right? Look, I rented this place fair and square from a guy named Derek. Paid him $2,000 for the summer. I'm just making the most of it." "Derek." My stomach lurched. Derek was my cousin, a deadbeat who'd crashed at the cabin once years ago. I'd never given him permission to rent it. He'd been ghosting me for months, likely pocketing cash from this con. I showed Hank the deed, my name inked in black and white. The couple, now horrified, admitted they'd paid Lisa $450 for a 3-night stay, thinking it was legit. Lisa doubled down, brandishing a crumpled paper she claimed was her contract with Derek. "I'm the victim here," she shrieked. "I paid good money. You can't just evict me." Her nerve was staggering. She turned my home into her hustle and now played the martyr. Hank looked ready to quit on the spot. Then the plot twisted. A battered pickup growled up the dirt road, and out stumbled Derek, unshaven and reeking of cheap bourbon. "Ethan, man, I can explain," he mumbled, eyes dodging mine. He'd been holed up in a nearby motel, living off Lisa's payments. He'd forged a fake lease, banking on my absence. The confrontation erupted. Lisa screamed at Derek for scamming her. Derek bellowed back, blaming her for messing it up. I stood there, fist balled, watching my cousin betray me and this stranger exploit my refuge. The couple, caught in the chaos, grabbed their bags and fled, muttering about leaving a scathing review. Hank finally stepped in, threatening to cuff both Lisa and Derek for trespassing and fraud. In the end, he escorted them off the property. I pressed charges, but the legal fight dragged on, a slow bleed of time and money. The cabin felt violated, its quiet magic snuffed out. That night, I sat on the porch, staring at the stars, grappling with how trust could shatter so swiftly. Derek's betrayal stung deeper than Lisa's scheme. Family was supposed to mean something. Lisa was just a leech, thriving in a world where everything's for sale, even someone else's home. The next morning, I found a note tucked under the doormat, scrawled by Lisa. "Sorry, but I needed the cash. You'd do the same." I crushed it, rage flaring anew. She didn't get it. This wasn't about money. It was about what's sacred. The cabin stands empty now, but the scars linger. I check the solar logs daily, paranoid about another intruder. Derek's in jail, Lisa's fighting her case, and I'm left with a bitter truth. Greed can turn even the purest places into war zones. Was she just a pawn in Derek's game, duped by his lies? Or was she a predator, seizing my home for profit without a shred of doubt? Her note haunts me, a taunt that blurs the line between victim and villain.